Okay. Hello everyone, how is it going? Hope that all of you are staying at home safely. So students, can you hear me properly?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
And can you see the board clearly?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Today at the first class, I faced a lots of problem due to internet, okay? Because at morning the internet was unstable. So if you face any problem to hear me or to see the board, then please inform me directly, okay? Okay, still all of the students are not present and this is the last class about the topic Fourier analysis. So we will wait for them as all of the students can join with us. And if we get enough time after completing this math, we will try to give some basic idea about Laplace transformation, because from our next class we will start a new topic, that is Laplace transform. And in my perspective, Laplace transform is quite easier than Fourier analysis. But I don't know, what about you? In the meantime, you can write down your ID number on the chat box, but it's a request, please write down your ID number only for one time, not more than one time. Okay. And during 2 hour class time, if I disconnect, then please wait for me. I will join again. Okay, already 3 minutes over and maximum students are present here. So we will start our class from now. In our previous classes, we have learned how can we solve boundary value problem. And today I also included another boundary value problem. And it is quite similar to our previous maths. Okay, it is quite similar to our previous maths. But here there is a different thing in the boundary condition. Here the difference is boundary condition and rest of the part are as similar as our previous maths. Okay. So here you can see that I have included one boundary value problem and also it's a initial boundary value problem. Okay. It's the initial boundary value problem. And here the partial differential equation is del by delta is equal to del square u by del x square. The range here x is greater than 0 and t is greater than 0. And x means the spatial or space domain and t means time for such type of problem. And all of you know that here u is the function of two variable x and t. U is a function of two variable x and t, which I told at the first class of boundary value problem. And here it represents temperature at any point x and at any time t. And the problem is here the range for x is given x is greater than 0. Here it is given that x is greater than 0 and t is also greater than 0. And t means time, so t will be greater than 0, it's natural. But here the domain for space is given x is greater than 0. Here x is greater than 0, so you can consider 0 as initial point of your boundary. Then what about for your terminal point or terminal boundary? In our previous maths, you have seen that the range of x is given x less than 2 or 0 less than x less than pi, right? In your previous maths, you have seen that the limit or the range for space x is given 0 less than x less than 2 or 0 less than x less than 3 or 0 less than x less than pi. Here the terminal boundary is 2, here the terminal boundary is pi. But what about when x is greater than 0? What will be the terminal point? When x is greater than 0, what will be the terminal point? Is there any terminal point when x is greater than 0?
Infinity.
Infinity. That means here there is no finite value, finite terminal value, right? There is no finite terminal value for x greater than 0. And it is also given that here u x comma t is bounded. That means it is not unbounded. When it is unbounded, that means if you get the values, when the values of x is infinity, that means here it is unbounded. But your given condition is it will be bounded. So if you find any term like this, ux comma t, where x tends to infinity. So for such type of case, ux comma t, where x tends to infinity, we will consider that values will be 0. Because here the condition is given ux comma t is bounded. That's the reason. That's the reason. Here your range for the space domain is x greater than 0. And it indicates that here there is no finite terminal boundary. There is no finite terminal boundary. And it is also given your function is bounded. That means at infinity it will be 0. Okay. Here there's the difference thing. And all of the things are similar as the previous maths. Okay. And since here x is greater than 0, that means you have to use the formula of sine transform, but in that case we will use infinite Fourier sine transform. In our previous maths, we have used Fourier sine transform for finite, right? For finite Fourier sine transform, but here, since x is greater than 0, the range is from 0 to infinity, so you have to use the formula for infinite Fourier sine transform and inverse infinite Fourier sine transform, okay? And that's the formula for infinite Fourier sine transform, 0 to infinity. Here you can consider as like f of x, that means the function f of x sine nx dx, or ux comma t sine nx dx, something like this, okay? And here the inverse formula will be 2 by pi 0 to infinity. Here it is your function sine nx into dn. Here it is not dx. Since we are considering a function un comma t, so here it will not be dx, it will be dn. Be conscious about this formula. It is not dx, it is dn. Since here u is a function of n comma t, okay? It's a major thing. Please do not write down here dx. If I write down dx, then I am wrong. Okay?
Okay. Okay.
Here it will be dn. Be conscious about that formula. And maximum students create a mistake at this point. Many of you have written down dx instead of dn. It will be dn and it is fixed for inverse infinite Fourier sine transform. Okay, now we will go for the solution of this problem.
ম্যাম এক্স এর ভ্যালু 0 থেকে বড়, ওই জন্যই কি লিমিটটা ইনফিনিটি পর্যন্ত নেওয়া হয়েছে?
Yes, here x is greater than 0. That means you may consider your initial or initial boundary. Here x is, suppose this is 0 point and x is greater than 0. So we can consider the initial boundary is 0, but the upper boundary is not finite. Is it finite?
No.
Here the upper boundary is not finite, and it is also given your function is bounded, not unbounded. So when x tends to infinity, then your function, it will be such like this. That means the values of the values of u at the point x tends to infinity. But here it is given it is bounded, and it means it is unbounded. That's why when you get such like a problem, then it will be equal to 0. That means at the terminal point it will be 0, because here at the terminal point x tends to infinity. Okay, clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So solution will be this is our given partial differential equation, and please do not write down as like equ to the power n in your exam. You have to write down the full form equation. If you write down it, then you will get less marks. Okay. So this is the given partial differential equations. Now, as like our previous maths, we will take infinite Fourier sine transformation on the both sides of equation 1. Since here x is greater than 0, so the limit will be 0 to infinity, and for 0 to infinity, you have to consider infinite Fourier sine transform on the both sides of equation 1. Taking the infinite Fourier sine transform on both sides of 1. Then what will happen? The formula will be is 0 to infinity f of x, and on the left side of 1 f of x is this, right? So it will be del u by del t into sine nx into dx, and on the right side it will be 0 to infinity f of x. F of x means del square u by del x square. So del square u by del x square into sine nx into dx. Okay, now consider this equation as equation number 2. Okay, now we will consider, let's consider u is equal, u is a function of n comma t, and this is equal 0 to infinity ux comma t sine nx into dx. We consider that u is a function of n comma t, and this is equal ux comma t sine nx dx. Now take the differentiation of u with respect to t, and on the right side it will be 0 to infinity del u by del t sine nx dx. Okay. So, and you can see that this is as similar to the left part of your equation number 2. Here, this is similar to the left part of our equation number 2. So, from equation 2, we can write this is equal this. Du by dt is equal this, because these and these are similar. So, we can write this is equal this. 0 to infinity del square u by del x square sine nx into dx. Okay. Now you have to complete this integration by using UV formula, right? You have to complete this integration by using UV formula. So here, which one will be u and which one will be v? At first, you have to take decision.
Sin nx will be u
Sin
and del
nx will
square
be
u del by del x square will be v.
It is u, it is v. So
V. Yes.
du by dt is equal 0 to infinity del square u by del x square, right? So if we integrate this, it will be del u by del x
u by
sine nx 0 to infinity minus n cos nx into del u by del x integration dx 0 to infinity.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes. Yes. You can ask your question. Students, are you hearing me?
আমি include করতেছি।
yes ma'am.
Someone is asking a question. What is your question?
এটা প্রবলেম হচ্ছে ম্যাডাম।
ইউভি ফর্মুলা অ্যাপ্লাই করার সময় আমি হচ্ছে ইন্টিগ্রেশনটা করতেছি, চেঞ্জটা কেন পুরোটা সাইন সহ ইনক্লুড করতেছি আমি ফার্স্ট পার্টটাই।
First part is this.
ইয়েস ম্যাম।
What is your UV formula? UV formula, U integration of V dx, right? Minus
Yes,
differentiation of U with respect to dx and V dx. Please let me explain, okay, into dx, right? Now, what is your question?
Yes, ma'am.
Why we are
Ma'am, the
including
first part.
sin nx? Why we are including
Yes,
sin nx, right? This.
Yes,
Here,
ma'am.
basically, we are the formula is U integration of V into dx. And when you are working for limit, then after integration, I don't know what is the result. Consider this as V1. Now, the formula is you have to use your both upper and lower limit for the U and V1. That means the answer of V and for U. Okay. And now your question, since we are not integrating U, so why we can apply the result for U, right?
Yes, ma'am.
This is your question. So here you may consider
Yes,
this
ma'am.
as like this. Since here we are integrating with respect to what? X or T. Here you are integrating with respect to X. And this upper and lower limit as the values of X. Okay, this is the lower limit of X. This is the upper limit of X. Since sine is a function of X and we are replacing X by 0 and infinity, that's why you have to replace sine nx by 0 and infinity. If your sine nx, it is not the same variable, then it is not necessary. Okay. Suppose here it is sine ny into del u by del x, and the limit is from 0 to infinity. In that case, it will be considered as constant. But it is a function of your considered variable, then you have to replace your variable. Because when we do one thing for a term, then you have to do the same thing for all parts. Okay. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So here del u by del x into sine nx, and the limit is from 0 to infinity. And you have found that it is given in your question ux comma t is bounded. This is bounded, right? So when x tends to infinity, what is the result for u, x comma t? It will be 0.
0.
Then what will be the differentiation of this part? Then
0,
what
ma'am.
is the differentiation? Then del u by del x will be automatically 0. Okay. Since del u by del x for infinity is 0, so the whole term will be automatically 0 for the limit 0 to interval, 0 to infinity. Okay. Since at x tends to infinity, u, x comma t is equals 0 when x tends to infinity, then after taking differentiation, it will be 0. And when it is 0, then del u by del x into sine nx. This whole term will be 0. Okay. Now we will discuss about the lower limit. For lower limit, it will be u 0 comma t, right? For lower limit, it will be del u by okay, at first we will talk about u0 comma t, and it is given in your problem. Can anyone say what is the value of u0 comma t?
0. 0.
0. So similarly, del u by del x will be also 0. So
Excuse me, ma'am.
yes,
ম্যাডাম আগের একটু আগে যেটা লিখলেন x tends to infinity, তাহলে du by dt কেন 0 হবে এটা একটু আরেকবার বলবেন?
okay. Here your function u x comma t is bounded. It is given in your problem, right? So u at infinity is not finite or not definable. Since it is bounded, bounded means it cannot be unbounded. Unbounded means infinity. So when x tends to infinity, then the result for this will be unbounded, right? Then the result for this will be unbounded, and it is given this is bounded. Since for x tends to infinity, this is unbounded, so it will be 0 when your x tends to infinity. Because it is given your function is bounded. Since your function is bounded, so at the point x tends to infinity, it will be 0. And when u is 0, then the differentiation of u will also be 0, right?
Yes, ma'am.
That's why del u by del x will be 0 at x tends to infinity. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So similarly, we get for the lower limit, which is also 0. It is given that u0 comma t is equal 0. It is given in your problem. So its differentiation del u by del x will be also 0. Okay. And for this reason, we can see that if you use the upper and lower limit, the whole term will be 0. Minus 0 to infinity n cos nx del u by del x into dx.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, why we consider del u by del x only? If we put 0 in sin x, that ma'am, then
It is also
come
0.
0.
It is also 0. But when we get, since for infinity, can you say what is the result for sine infinity? It's tough for us, right? That's
Yes.
why we will consider del u by del x. And when it is 0, then automatically the whole term will be 0.
Ma'am, if the u0 comma t is equal to 0, if it is given that u0 comma t equal is not 0, then
In that case, you have to integrate.
that will be again 0, ma'am. That's sin and
You
x.
have to consider the values of sine, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so now you have to integrate this part again, and it will be minus n 0 to infinity cos nx del u by del x dx. So the result for u integration of v. So cos nx integration of v. So it will be only u, and u is a function of x comma t, right? Use the upper and lower limit. And there is a negative sign of your formula, and there is another negative sign. So these two negative will be positive. In differentiation of this is minus n sine nx. Integration of this is u x comma t into dx. The limit is from 0 to infinity.
Ma'am, last line is not totally, completely
Visible. Now can you see this? So here I just
Yes, ma'am.
use the formula again for this improper integral u integration of v, and when you integrate this it will be simply u, and u is a function of x comma t. That's why I have written here u x comma t, and the differentiation of this is this, integration of this is this, and the whole integration here. Now you have to evaluate these and this. Okay. So here it is minus n. It is minus n into cos. Here if you set the same thing x comma t, when x tends to 0, x tends to infinity, it will be 0. And its differentiation, sorry, here there is no differentiation. When x tends to infinity, then this term is 0 and the whole term will be 0, right? And for this reason, the whole term will be 0. Now, for the lower limit, what is the result? 0 comma t, it is also 0, right? It is also 0, so the whole term will be again 0. So we can say that after putting the upper and lower limit, the first term will gives us a 0. This is 0. Now for the second one, plus and minus, it will be minus n into n will be n squared, 0 to infinity, sine nx ux comma t into sine nx into dx. Okay. And in the left side it is dy dt. Now can anyone say what is the value of this? What can we write down in this place?
U, ma'am.
It is only u, because we have considered this at the initial part of our today's problem, that is u is equal this. Okay, and here u is a function of n comma t. Okay, here this u is a function of n comma t. Now we have du by dt is equal minus n square u. Okay, now take this u to the left side and take this dt to the right side. It will be du by d. Now the calculation are same as our previous maths. Okay, so it will be minus n square t, and if we take integration on the both sides, so it will be the result from this. What is the result of this integration? Log
U, ma'am.
minus, sorry, it will be dt minus n square t. And what about your constant? It will be also
A, ma'am.
a or log a. It will be log a. Here there is a reason, because from this line you have to find the values of a, but there is a log term with u, and we want to vanish this log term by logarithmic function or the logarithmic function. Since here there is a logarithmic function, so we will try to derive another logarithmic function on the right side. Okay, we will try to derive another logarithmic function on the right side. That's why we will take here log a. A is a constant, log a is a constant. Okay, that's why we can consider this on the right side as our arbitrary constant for integration. Now, I think all of you know this formula. X is equal log e to the power x, right? All of you know this formula. X can be written like this, log e to the power x. So here this can be also written by using this formula as like, we will write down this as like log e to the power minus n squared t. Is there any problem here if I write down this as like this? I just use that formula. Okay. Log u plus log a. Is there any problem to understand this line, last line?
No, ma'am.
Because we have used this calculation many times for solving boundary value problem, right? And this is the third class for solving boundary value problem. So log u can be written log a into e to the power minus n squared t. Now we can cancel log from both sides, and it will be only u is equal a into e to the power minus n square t, right? So we have considered u is equal u n comma t, and this is equal a e to the power minus n square t. Okay. So named, consider this equation as equation number 4. As equation number 4. Now we will set t is equal 0 because we have to find the values of a. Here a is arbitrary constant and we have to find the values of a in order to find the values u n comma t. Our main target is to find the values of u n comma t, but it is expressed in terms of a, right? In terms of exponential function, and there is arbitrary constant a. So to find the exact value of u n comma t, it's urgent to find the values of a. And for finding the values of a, we will set t is equal 0. Then we get u n comma 0, set here t is equal 0, a e to the power 0, and e to the power 0 is equal 1. So it will be u n comma 0 is equal a. Consider this equation as equation number 5. So to find a, you have to find this. To find a, you have to find u n comma 0. And we have considered u n comma t is equal 0 to infinity u x comma t sine nx dx. Initially, we have considered that u is equal u n comma t is equal this. But we have to find u n comma 0. So set here t is equal 0. Let t is equal 0. If you set here t is equal 0, then it will be u n comma 0. 0 to infinity, it will be u 0 comma t. U 0 comma t sine nx dx. Now we need the initial condition.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes,
Ma'am, if it is let t equal to
T is
0,
equal to
ma'am, then you have written u n comma
n
0.
comma 0.
How come it become, ma'am, u 0 comma t inside the integration?
It is u x comma t, not 0 comma t. It is x comma t. Sorry, sorry. It will be x comma 0. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
It will be x
Yes,
comma
ma'am.
0. Thank you. Okay, so from here we get u n comma 0 is equal 0 to infinity u x comma 0 sine nx dx. Now we need the value of ux comma 0, and it is our initial condition. Why it is initial condition? Because here t is 0. When t is 0, then it is initial condition. And I think in your problem, the initial condition is defined in this way. 0 less than x less than 1, 0 x greater than 1. What is this? In your given problem, it is given that the initial condition is 1 when the range is from 0 to 1, and 0 when the range is from x greater than 1. So can we divide this whole interval into two sub-intervals, 0 to 1 and 1 to infinity? Since
Yes,
this improper integral contains our initial condition, and the initial condition is expressed into piecewise function into two sub-interval, one is from 0 to 1, another is x greater than 1 means 1 to infinity, right? 1 to infinity. So we can divide our whole interval into two sub-intervals, 0 to 1 and 1 to infinity. Okay. So u x comma 0 sine nx dx. U x comma 0 sine nx into dx. Okay. So when the range is from 0 less than x less than 1, the values of ux comma 0 is equal 1. So we can write down this as 1 into sine nx into dx. And for the second one, it is 0, right?
Yes, ma'am.
For the second one, it is 0. So the integration of any term 0, it is also 0. Now, the integration of sine nx is minus cos nx divided by n. Probably 0 to 1. Set the upper and lower limit. It will be minus 1 by n cos n minus cos 0. Right? So it will be 1 by n, cos 0 means 1, 1 minus cos n. So this is the result of your u n comma 0, right? Now we use this result in our equation number 5. And after using this result in our equation number 5, we can
We will
find the
find
value of
a
a, right? So use this value in equation number 5. And our equation number 5 is u n comma 0 is equal a. So we obtain a is equal this, right? 1 by n into 1 minus cos n. Okay, this is the result for a. Now you have to use this result a in your equation number 4. Again, use the value of a in equation number 4. So what is the equation number 4? Our equation number 4 is probably u n comma t is equal a e to the power minus n square t. This is our equation number 4. Now we use the values of a in this equation. And if you set the values of a in this equation, you will be able to find the values of u n comma t. So our considered function u n comma t will be is equal this 1 by n 1 minus cos n into e to the power minus n square t. Okay, into e to the power minus n square t. Okay, so we get the result for u n comma t. But is this our target? Is this the solution of our given boundary value problem? No, this is not
no,
our
ma'am.
solution. This is the
We have to
Fourier
apply first.
transformation of our solution. So from Fourier transformation, if you want to find the original function, you have to use inverse Fourier sine transformation. Okay. Since we have used infinite Fourier sine transformation, so now we will use inverse infinite Fourier sine transformation. Taking inverse infinite Fourier sine transformation. Transform, then what will be the result? Ux comma t is equal. Here one thing is that this is the infinite Fourier sine transformation of this function. And this function is the inverse infinite Fourier transformation of this function. So the formula is 2 by pi 0 to infinity. U n comma t into sine nx into dx or dn. Since this function
dn, ma'am.
Dn, ma'am.
yes,
dn.
it is
dn.
dn, not dx. Okay.
Yes.
Now use the result for u n comma t, that is this 1 by n 1 minus cos n e to the power minus n square t and sine nx into sine nx into dn. And this is our required solution for our given boundary value, initial boundary value problem, which is the required solution. Okay, so this is our required solution of our given initial boundary value problem. And if you want to interpret it physically, then it will be the temperature at any point x and at any time t in a solid, and in that solid the range will be x is greater than 0. This is the range of your space domain. Okay, so students, we are at the end of our today's lecture and it's 1:38, so 2 minutes left. So I think we should not start the next part, Laplace transformation. In our next class we will start the new topic, Laplace transformation. Okay, so is there any problem to understand our today's lecture?
No, ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay, and I think all of you have written your ID number on the chat box. So have you get the notice of assignment 2?
No, ma'am.
Yet you didn't get the assignment 2. There is a not I just asking you the notice for assignment 2. There is a new rules and regulations for your assignment 2. In your first assignment, your probably time is 24 hours, that means 1 day. But for the second assignment, probably it is 6 hours. Okay.
How many
Ma'am,
hours?
class
ma'am?
time include করে 6 ঘন্টা?
No, without your the probably the time is from 3 p.m. to after 3
9
p.m. Okay, the time is from after 3 p.m. and your submission time is from 3 p.m. to after 6 hours. That means what will be at 9 or 9:10 p.m. Okay.
So basically it
Okay,
means that we'll start our morning at 8 and end at 9
Yeah, something like
without
this.
any break.
Yes, it's quite similar like this. It's
Okay,
I
ma'am.
think you have to maintain it for 2 weeks. Okay. And the time duration for completing your assignment 2 is 8th and 9th week. You have to complete assignment 2 within 8th and 9th week, and probably you will not get assignment each day of these 2 weeks. Okay, probably you get sufficient time for preparing yourself. What is the number of total courses of your department? I just want to know what is the total number of course of your this level.
6.
6. Okay, then probably in 1 week you will get 3 assignment. It's enough. And there is another notice is that probably each group will contains maximum 3 members.
Yes, ma'am, I got it.
Okay.
Please don't give huge math, ma'am, because it's only 6 hours.
Okay, not since I have taken assignment 1, then for assignment 2 I am not included. Probably lecturer Asif sir will take the assignment 2. Okay, so don't worry. I just inform you, nothing else. Since we have enough time, that's why I informed you. Okay,
Okay.
I'll not take the assignment 2. Asif sir will take the assignment 2. Okay. So thank you everyone for joining the class and for your cooperations. Take care everyone. Allah Hafiz.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.